welcome all to the 1500s podcast on Channel 15, where we cover all things 1500s. I'm your host, Joaquin Cabaya, and today we'll be continuing our interview with the characters of the play, The Tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. Today's special guest, can we please welcome to our stage, my favorite 13-year-old, Romeo's favorite 13-year-old girl, Juliet Capulet.
Hey everyone, I'm so glad you could have me for the podcast.
Hello, Juliet. How are you today?
Good.
That's great. Just as a confirmation, Romeo is your husband that you killed yourself for, correct?
Yes.
Man, you really need to call 988.
Can we start the interview?
Yes. I'll begin with, when Romeo was banished, why didn't you run away to Romeo's place of banishment, leaving your family behind?
Oh, alright. So, Romeo did not have a great or stable job over there, and I would have no way of getting there. Also, I could not just simply leave my father or mother as soon as I get there. I knew that they would search for me as well. They were already beginning a marriage between Paris and I, and the only way I thought out of it was faking my death.
Oh, that makes sense. But let's say, for instance, you were to leave and did start your way to Romeo somehow. What do you think would happen?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Okay. That kind of makes sense what you said, but let's say, for an instance, you were to leave and start off with Romeo somewhere else. What do you think would happen?
Well, I definitely would have been stopped and not let in due to the same sickness that didn't let Friar in. The Friar John, of course. And yeah, I just think that I would have been stopped.
All right, great insight. What was wrong with Paris, though?
Well, I was already married to Romeo, and I cannot remarry while still married to Romeo.
What if Romeo never existed? Paris is a great man.
Yes, I agree. I feel like I would have given him a chance, and if I could, I would. He was rich, and now that I think about it, he was really loving for me. Friar told me he would stay after and check on me on my grave.
Yes. Might I ask, why, when your father began thrashing out at you, why did you not speak back or call out with misbelief or report to the authorities? Which, if you are experiencing trouble at home and you are unsafe, make sure you call 800-799-7233. Our abusive husband/father's phone.
Well, again, Joaquin, this is the 1500s, and I was just a 13-year-old girl. There was nothing much I could have done to stick up against a full-grown man who puts food on the table for me and keeps a roof over my head. Without him in my life, I would have been turned to the streets in an instant.
Oh, interesting. That's a pretty good point. And because this was set in the 1500s, you couldn't get a job of your own. But why Romeo? I mean, why? I mean, he was just so wrong for you, don't you think? He came from the family your family was fighting with.
Well, that is true, but he was just so romantic, and I was young and naive. I am, of course, a 13-year-old girl. He was basically the only love I wanted.
Right, a clueless girl with no insight to the big world. Real. I agree. Well, this is all the time we have left on the 1500s podcast. We would love to give you a little hint on who's our next guest. It's another major character in the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet story. And we just want to say bye.
Bye.